Welcome to the Canoga Park Youth Arts Center's new series, World Art, where each class will travel to a different part of the world and learn about their art, their culture, and their architecture. Today it's architecture, and we are traveling all the way to Egypt to learn about the Great Pyramids of Giza. This is what we're drawing today. So you can see it's a little bit more than the Pyramids of Giza. There's this guy. This guy is called the Sphinx, and he was created roughly the same time the pyramids were. So it's a wonderful opportunity. I would love to go see the pyramids in person, but I'm not sure that's going to happen. So this is what we're going to be doing today, but I'd like to teach you a little bit about the Egyptian pyramids. Let's take a look at where Egypt is. Here's a map of Egypt. This is Africa. Egypt is a country of Africa, so all of Africa goes here. And this is the Nile, which was so important to Egyptian culture. And the pyramids that we're learning how to draw are near the mouth of the Nile River. Now, here's a picture of our friend the Sphinx. Now you'll notice he has no nose. During one of the wars, they shot off his nose. And the whole way he was discovered was by a dream. A guy had a dream, and they said, if you go here and dig in the sand, you'll find it. And he did, because the sands had shifted so much that our poor friend here was buried almost all the way to the top. And they discovered him after we all learned about the pyramids. You'll notice this top here on the pyramid, that was made in its day of brilliant white, like a plaster white. So you could really see these pyramids from far across the country. But since then, that part has broken off. Let's look at what it took to build these things. So you can see, they started off with steps, and then they would fill in that area afterwards. And they had all these people had to drag all of those giant blocks up to the top. Now there's still a lot of question about how they actually made these, but people can be very clever when they want to be. Let's take a picture, let's take a look at a different type of picture. Here is the complex. There are 3 pyramids, the Great Pyramid and the 2 that he made for his wives. And here is our friend the Sphinx. This was cut out of a giant mountain. And the reason why it's got stripes on it is because different layers of earth were soft and hard. So over time, they kind of wore ridges into them. The harder rock resisted the sand blasting, and the soft rock kind of got blasted away. Let's see what's inside of our pyramid. So if we were to cut away our pyramid and look inside, we would see all of these chambers. The king's chamber, the queen's chamber, and this tomb had already been raided by the time archaeologists got there. That's the problem with a lot of the tombs. You know the movie Tomb Raider. They come in and they take all the gold and all the cool stuff. So this tomb was already empty. And again, a lot of people wonder what the purpose of the pyramids were beyond a burial. But all that's just people imagining things. So I want to show you an example of Egyptian art. The Egyptians used hieroglyphs to communicate, and their writing is different. They use symbols like that. These are words. That's a word. This is a word. So they use symbols to communicate their language, and they also went up and down and then moved from right to left. So that's a lot different than the way we write. And their people were always shown in profile. Do you see how we see the side of her face? Most of the time, they're shown in profile. So this is an example of the art that's actually inside of the Great Pyramid. So well preserved. Let's take a look at my drawing again. All right. Now, I'm going to show you an easy way to draw this guy. So I don't want you to think, oh my God, I'll never be able to do that. I'm going to show you how to do that. And here we have the 3 pyramids, bink, bink, bink. But this line here, this is our horizon line. This is where the sky meets the land. Now I put in a couple of palm trees here and there, because those are pretty much the only forms of life that grow there. You're not going to get the same types of trees growing in this desert that we have here. Now this little guy that I stuck in here, that could be the Nile River or a road, because many, many people work at this site every day digging and trying to find new things. In fact, there's like a door right between the paws here, but they haven't been able to get by it and see if there's anything there. But there is like a doorway, a sign kind of thing right between his two paws. And you'll notice I put in a little bit of shadow. The sun is here. So I put my darkest shadow farthest away. So I shadowed this one. A pyramid has 4 sides, by the way, not 3. And the sun is here, so on this side, that side is dark and that side is dark. But you see it's on this side here, so this side is lit up. The side facing the sun is light. And I wanted to show that our Sphinx here is casting a shadow below it. You see I did the same thing with the trees. The tree shadows are cast off this way because the sun is over here, so the shadow goes off that way. And on these trees, the shadow's over here, so they go off that way. Same with the shadows of the pyramid. All right, let's look at a couple of step-by-steps so you feel a little bit more confident about this. Remember, always look for basic shapes. They're going to help you draw everything and anything. Case in point, a rectangle. I want you to notice, though, that a rectangle has rounded edges and it's slanted down a little bit, right? So it slants and it has these rounded edges. That is step number 1. Step number 2 is to put a rounded triangle. This is the head of our Sphinx. So after we do that, we're going to come down here and look. 2 long paws. Ba-boop, ba-boop. And then his little elbow kind of hooks back in again. So they're just 2 long paws. You can't see any space in between them, so it's like an M, sideways M. Bump, 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 bump. Step number 4. Do you see the number 2 here? Bump, 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 bump. That's how we're making the back leg of our lion. So it's a number 2, comes around, and you give him his little lion foot. So those are the first 2 steps. I ran out of paper, so here are the last steps. Now, the Pharaohs of Egypt wore this specific headdress that they wrapped around their head. In the day, this had stripes in it, blue and gold stripes. So you see our triangle? We're going to take and draw 2 lines up there, and we're going to put a little thing for his ear. Do you see where his ear is? Bink, ear, and then up. Bink, ear, and then up. And then that's the top part that goes across his forehead. So this is the headdress that they wear. And our last step, we kind of finish everything up. Here's his, we're going to put a chin on him. We're going to do his eyes. But remember, he's got no nose, just a bunch of broken off stuff. And we put his mouth on. And then erase all the lines that are overlapping. And there you go. One more thing. The pyramid. This is an arrow pointing up, isn't it? A line with 2 coming up. Looks just like an arrow pointing up. Now all I have to do is connect that line and connect this line. And now I have shown a 3-dimensional pyramid where we see 2 of the 4 sides. So those are really easy to draw. All right. With any landscape, your most important line is the horizon line. We're going to put it kind of high today. I'm not going to make it too dark because some things are going to be going over the top of it, and I'll have to erase that later. Sky, land. Let's do our first pyramid. Here's the line that comes in the middle. Here's the line that goes like this of my arrow. Here's the other line that comes up like that. I just connect this to this and that to that. There's my 1 pyramid. I'm going to make 2 more because there's 3 main pyramids there. So I'm making my arrow. Here's my arrow. I connect, I connect. Here's my arrow. I connect and I connect. Okay, so now we have our 3 pyramids. We're going to draw our Sphinx next. So remember the directions. We're going to make a rounded off rectangle that looks like it's tobogganing down a hill, but he's not. Now we're going to make a rounded kind of triangle. You see that? Rounded edges. All right, so we have the body and the head. We're going to come in here. We're going to give us our paws, our front paws. Here's one front paw. Here's the other front paw. Comes back like this and hooks around for his elbow. Starting to look a little bit more like a lion, huh? So now the back leg, number 2, comes like this and goes like that, just like the number 2. Hooks around, and there you go. All right, now I know, here comes the hard part, but it's not really. I'm just going to make this line a little bit more clear for you to see. Okay, So now here's the headpiece. I come down like this, and I slice off a little bit of that triangle. I come down here, I slice off a little bit of that triangle. And I'm going to go over here, because that's the part that goes across his head. Now he needs a chin, bottom part, the chin. There we go. He's going to have an eye over here. Going to have an eye over here. Remember, he doesn't really have a nose. We just kind of make some broken concrete there. And here's his mouth. But he needs a neck. So the neck comes down here. He goes all the way like that. And this neck is already there. There we go. Let's see, I think I got all of them in there. Oh, ears. We forgot the ears. So the ear goes here. Another ear is going to go kind of over there. It's a little smaller because his head is turned. And there we go. There's our Sphinx. Now we need some palm trees. We go up with the palm trees. Remember, fatter at the bottom and at the top. And look, palm trees are kind of like Lisa Simpson's hair. They just kind of go like that. That's like the easiest way to draw a palm tree, is to just make these little pointy things coming everywhere. Put the little bottoms on, little grass so it looks natural. Now we're going to put a couple palm trees over here. Again, crazy Lisa Simpson hair, bending down, and it's overlapping this one. That helps us make it look like it's 3D. There we go. Now we can either have a road or the Nile. We're going to come in like this and make a big swoop, swoop. Now remember, even if it's a road or a river, it's still going to be skinnier, farther away, because things that are farther away are smaller. And as they get closer to us, look what's happening. It's getting fatter and fatter and fatter. That part of our road or river is much wider than that part. So here we have our Nile or our road. We've got our palm trees. We've got our pyramids. And if you wanted to, you can make it look like the stone, like it was made out of. So first you put those lines in, and then you put these little guys in, and kind of stagger them a little bit. Because if you're a mason and you build them all on top of them in a row, then they're not stable anymore and they fall over. You've got to stagger them a little bit. You do the same thing on this side. You put in these lines, and then you put in those lines. And now it looks like our pyramid is made of bricks. There you go, my friends. Here's our wonderful trip down the Nile to the Great Pyramids of Giza, the last remaining 7 wonders of the world. It's the only one left standing. Put a sun in here. Now you'd be free to put camels in here, to put an oasis where it's the one spot where water is available in the desert. You could add a whole bunch of things to this drawing. But this gives you an idea of how we can draw the pyramids at Giza. I used an unusual material in our upgrade today. So I know you're going to recognize some of these materials, oil pastel and watercolor, but look what I did. This is craft sand. You can get it at a lot of dollar stores. It's colored sand with little sparkly things in it. Now, I didn't put it all the way up because you can see the detail of the sand when you're close. This part of the landscape is close to us. This part of the landscape is farther away. So when I'm standing here, I can see the grains of sand. But when I get up here, you can't really see the individual grains of sand too much. So you could get sand out of your sandbox. You can find some in a store, or you can just do the drawing. But do you see how I made one side of my pyramids darker? Because my sun is here. So when you paint, think about making one of your sides a little darker. And I put the shadow in that our Sphinx is casting, and I chose to make this a river. So oil pastels, water, and craft sand. That's Egypt. I want to thank you so much for joining us today, traveling around the world all the way to Egypt. Join us again for another Canoga Park Youth Arts Center series on world art.